Hey, what's up guys? It's Brandon here for RC Nightmare. Today we're looking at the 5T, talking about maintenance intervals. In the manual they recommend 3 maintenance intervals, the 1 to 2 tank interval, 6 tank, and 12 tank. In the previous videos I already did the 1 to 2 tank and the 6 tank, so in this video we're taking a look at the 12 tank interval. To be completely honest with you guys, we don't even have 12 tanks for about 12 hours on this thing yet, so I won't be disassembling it for that yet. I've already checked it over. I'm going to go over it with you guys so you can see what you're looking for and what you need to do if you do need to do any of this maintenance. So we're going to be looking at the shocks, the differentials, spur gear, and a couple other things. So let's get started. Okay guys, first thing we want to check are the front shocks. Really what we're looking for here is leaks. We want to see if the fluid's starting to leak out or getting worn down. The easy thing to do is just check it. You want to move this suspension up and down, feel how smooth the shock's working. If you feel air bubbles, inconsistencies, or if you see fluid leaking out, you're going to want to take these off and replace the fluid and maybe even the O-rings and the seals. So if you're taking these off, take note that there's a black screw right here. And on this side you can see a silver screw. The silver screw is a left-hand thread, so make sure that when you're putting that in, it's opposite. You know, righty-loosey, lefty-tighty instead of the norm. So when you're putting that in, make sure you don't cross-thread it or trying to getting it out, you're actually tightening it and stripping the threads. So front shocks, obviously we're going to do the same with the rear shocks, and there is a left-handed silver screw on the rear as well, so take note of that. Next thing you're going to want to check are the differentials, front, center, and rear. For the front differential, they have 7K as the factory fluid, so if you're replacing that, you see it leaking out of the outdrives, and you want to go with stock fluid at 7K. Obviously, you can tune that a little bit. You can change the fluid any way you like, but that's what Losi's got in their stock. It's pretty simple to remove the front differential. I'm going to show you how to do it now. Okay guys, removing the front clip is pretty easy. You got 4 bolts right here that hold the diff case on, and you want to remove the 2 steering tie rods. Once you do that, the whole front clip's going to come off. Okay, once you remove those 6 bolts and you got the front clip released, you're going to remove 2 bolts, one on each side of the front bumper to remove that and get it out of your way. And then there's 4 bolts on the front diff cover that come out, and once you get those out, the whole front diff will fall out and you can rebuild that. Take a look at the manual so you can see how the gears go back into place. I'm not going to go into depth here on that. Again, we don't need to rebuild ours, it's in good shape yet. So if you need to rebuild the diff, use your manual so you make sure you get everything in there correctly and replace any seals or gears that might be worn down. For the center differential, which is located right here, they're running 5K diff fluid. So again, if you want to go with stock, that's what's in there now. It's very simple to remove that guy. You got 4 bolts right here. And on top, of course, you're going to have to remove your brake linkages. When you're checking the center diff, make sure that you look at the spur gear at the same time. We're going to check for any damaged teeth on here. Replace it if necessary. Then you're going to move to the rear diff. It's the same story here. We've checked the shocks already. We want to remove the rear clip. You got the center, you got the 4 bolts on the bottom for the rear clip. You want to remove the bumper, and there's 4 bolts on the back that allow you to pull the differential out of there. Now again, like I said you guys already, we don't even have 12 tanks on this chassis yet, so we're not removing that quite yet. We'll probably have to do that in the future and keep an eye on it. But for now we're okay, so we're not going to show that to you. If you like a video in the future, we might do it for you, but for building differentials, it's pretty self-explanatory. Look in your manual for all that information. At the same time, while you're doing this maintenance, it might not be a bad idea, but I'm surprised they don't even mention in the manual to check the spark plug. Pull this out. There is a part number right on the plug. The stock plug is a CMR 7H from NGK. Replace that if you see any pitting or if it's worn down, no sharp edges, the elements damaged, ground straps damaged. Go online if you want to look at spark plug theory. I could talk for a half hour about that, but it's a good idea to replace it every once in a while. Just keep an eye on it. They didn't mention it in the manual for regular service intervals, so I thought I mentioned to you guys here. That does it for your 1 to 2 tank, 6 tank, and 12 tank service intervals. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Appreciate you watching this videos. Keep an eye out for upgrade videos coming up. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.